Hi everyone, welcome to the Asynchronous Self-Directed November 1st class. In order to do this class, you're going to be starting to do team builders with your TAs, and the question is, what besides time or money do you want more of, following Matthew McConaughey's video on being an architecture of your life. Then you're going to review what we've done last week and in the course, and then we'll be doing activity 1, 2, and 3 as we try to parallel the experiences you're having in your practicum. So you may not want to finish this until Thursday after you finish your practicum day, so you're ready for Friday when we meet in class. So what we've done is we've been thinking about the purpose of education. In last class, most of you posted ideas of the purpose of education so we could get a definition. And one had posted, the purpose of education is to teach students valuable life skills to help them succeed in life, and that was Letitia, Alyssa, and Lorene. Another person said, in addition to curriculum, education is about learning values, beliefs, life skills, and building relationships. That's Samantha, Sophia, and Michaela. Purpose of education is about learning how to critically think and analyze the world around us, and that was Evie, Chevon, Priya, and Alanis. And so when we looked at Ken Robinson, he talked about education and divided into 4 areas in our last class. He talked about socially, a purpose of education is to become active and compassionate citizens. He talks about personally, we want students to be able to engage in the world within themselves and as well as the world around them. We also talked about the economics of education, enabling students to become economically responsible and independent in an ever-changing economic landscape. And this led to the core competencies that he talked about. And you can also see financial literacy is being offered in the schools as well. And then we talked about the cultural, understanding our own culture and understanding other cultures and promoting a sense of cultural tolerance and coexistence. So we've kind of adopted that definition of the purpose of education. And in this Foundations course, we've discussed the purpose of education, come to kind of an agreement on the definition, and is leading to now, what is the purpose of schooling? How do we meet the expectations of the purpose of education? Are we seeing the purpose of education in the schools when we're visiting them? And that's what you're going to be talking about. This is actually called the sociology of education. That's a branch of sociology that studies how social structures affect education as well as the various outcomes of education. And that's by Dr. Karen L. Robson, who has written about sociology of education in Canada. And so as we're looking at how schooling is done and how does it reflect the purpose of education that we've all agreed on, we'll be starting to lead us towards what our philosophy of education is. And that's the last part of this course. And the philosophy of education is the philosophical reflection of the nature, aims, and problems of education. The philosophy of education is a Janus-faced, you look both inward to the parent discipline of philosophy and outward to educational practice, from Socrates to now. So you're already developing your philosophy, and many of you have many ideas about what your philosophy of education is. And we know that what you believe is how you will act. And so our actions are closely aligned with our beliefs, as we talked about in our last course. For example, if someone deeply believes in the importance of honesty, they are likely to be truthful in their interactions and choices. This alignment creates consistency in how we live our lives. So as we work through what we're seeing in the schools and how does it reflect the purpose of education that we've kind of worked through and agreed upon, the first activity you're going to be involved in is, what have you seen in your practical experience that embodies the purpose of education? And there's some questions there to look at. The second activity is looking at what is sociology and how does it help to understand how we achieve the purpose of education through schooling, through all the relationships, and the very complex relationships between parents, teachers, administrators, the board, the ministry. And the third activity is, how is our participation and reflections on the 9 learning outcomes in our practicum experience in EDPR 2000 in our experiential practicum parallel with our investigations in this course. And so you'll be looking at actively involved number 1, and you'll be looking at the standards of practice outcome number 2 and reflecting on that as we look through the lens of the 9 learning outcomes as we continue with the Foundations of Education course. Thank you.